Now, book reading. Take your pencil to spread the words. You should read along with me. Okay. Lesson 1, Sources of Medieval India. Sources of Medieval India. Learning objectives. To acquaint ourselves with sources of the study of medieval India, temples, mosques, tombs, palaces and forts as important sources, literary and inscriptional text, accounts of Arab and Turkish travelers. Introduction. The period from AD, CE, AD means Anno Domini, CE means Common Era, 700 to 1200, and from AD bracket CE 1200 to 1700 are classified as early medieval and later medieval periods respectively in Indian history. Numerous and various sources are found fortunately available to the historians engaging in the study of medieval India. Added to the information that can be gleaned from inscriptions, monuments, and coins are the accounts left by Arab, Persian, and Turkish chronicles. These accounts are rich in detail and have given first-hand information on the lives of kings, though they provide very little information on the life of the common people. The opinions of the courtiers, chroniclers are often one-sided, written in a hyperbolic language exaggerating the king's achievements. Let us now explore the various sources available for the study of the history of medieval India. Do you know the famous words Kafi Khan, a courtier of Emperor Aurangzeb? He says, "It is the duty of an historian to be faithful, to have no hope to profit, no fear of injury, to show no partiality on one side or animosity on the other, to know no difference between friend and stranger, and to write nothing but with sincerity." Sources. Sources are the supporting materials, documents, or records in the form of evidence that help to reconstruct the past. Classification of sources. Primary sources, secondary sources. Next page. We examine the details of political, economic, and socio-cultural developments with the aids of sources. Primary sources, inscriptions, monuments, and coins, and the information available in them. Secondary sources, literary works, chronicles, travelogues, biographies, and autobiographies. First one, inscription, rock inscription. Inscriptions are writings engraved on solid surfaces such as rocks, stones, temple, walls, and metals. The king's royal decrees, dedication, and donations, monuments raised in commemoration of victories in wars, those built in memory of deceased warriors, contain rich information about the concerned era. Various types of lands gifted by the Chola kings are known from the inscriptions and copper plates. They are Vellan Vagai, land of non-Brahmin proprietors, Brahmadeya, land gifted to Brahmins, Shalabonga, land for the maintenance of a school, Devadana, land gifted to temples, Pallichandam, land donated to Jain institution. Next page. Copper plates, grants, which were treated as legal documents, have significant source value. The Islamic Persian practices and the relatively high cost of copper plates made palm leaf and paper cheaper alternatives from 13th century onwards. Several copper plates grants issued during the later Chola period 10th to 13th century records gifts to individual priests or teachers who were Hindu, Buddhist, Jaina, or to persons of eminence. Both the giver and the receiver were elaborately described. By the contrast, most stone inscriptions differ in the content. In stone inscription, the beneficence of a donor is recorded. The major focus is upon the giver. Thiruvalangadu plates of Rajendra Chola first and the unbuilt plates of Chindara Chola are notable examples. Uttaranmerur inscriptions in Kanjipuram districts provide details of the way in which the village administration was conducted. See, this is the copper plate inscription. Now take a book and take a material to split the first Roman, first cuisine. Answer the following questions. Who compiled Nalayira Divya Prabandham? Who compiled Nalayira Divya Prabandham? Nadamuni compiled Nalayira Divya Prabandham. He is one of the 12 alvas during the period of 10th century. Second question. What does the word Tux means? Tuk is a Persian word also used in Urdu. The word Tuk means autobiography. Third question. Name Jahangir Memorial. In the 17th century, Jahangir wrote his memoir Tux-e-Jahangiri, throwing a lot of light in the period. Fourth question. Name the two different types of sources for the study of history. Primary sources and secondary sources are the two different types of sources for the study of history. Primary sources. Example, inscription, monument, coins. Secondary sources. Example, literary, chronicle, biography, autobiography. Fifth question. List out the important mosques and forts constructed during the medieval times. Quatul Islam Masjid, Motki Masjid, Jama Masjid, Fatehpur Sikri Dargah and Charminar are the important mosques belonging to the medieval times. The forts of historical importance are Agra Fort, Chittur Fort, Gwalior Fort and Delhi Red Fort. Next question. Mention the important foreign travelers who visited India during the medieval period. Marco Polo, Al-Biruni, Ibn Battuta, Niccolo Conti, Abdul Razak, Domingo Pease are the important foreign travelers who visited India during the medieval period. Seventh question. Name the land gifted by the Chola king. Name the land gifted by the Chola king. Vellan Vagai, land of non-Brahmin proprietors. Brahmadeya, land gifted to Brahmins. Salabhoga, land for the maintenance of school. Devadana, land gifted to temples. Pallichandam, land donated to Jain institution. Okay, up to this, today class completed. You should write these questions and take a photo and send your answer through WhatsApp to class teacher. Thank you students. See you in next class.